Hey everyone, welcome to Remnant from Hell 1.0.3. There's a lot of exciting content in this patch. I'm gonna go down the list and show off all the changes one by one. The inventory icons for almost every new trinket have been added in. They also now credit the person who designed them beneath the tooltip. I really hope you enjoy my contributions to the mod. Bahamut has been shrunken down to have an easier time spawning on Earth. Now he's small enough to move through many of the buildings to chase the player. I must say he is quite adorable now too. This is the part I'm sure many of you are most excited for. There are now 4 new weapons available for purchase at Macabre Shop in War 13. There are 2 regular weapons and 2 boss weapons. I will give these weapons their own guides in a future video. For now though, I will quickly go over their stats and their playstyles. First of the new normal weapons is the Pulse Rifle. This 4-round burst rifle is quite the firearm. Its base damage is lower than Ruin, but the increased ammo and extra round fired in the burst makes the weapon an incredible marksman choice. Its spread can make consecutive shots a little hard to hit over a distance. That's why I recommend the Hunter set to reduce your spread by 25%. I also used Tragic Emblem, Hunter's Ring, and Empowering Loop to crank up the weapon's damage. Combined with Hunter's Mark, I was easily able to melt through Veil. If you wanted an alternative weapon to Ruin with a free mod slot, this is the choice for you. As the second of the normal weapons added with the patch, the Boom Cannon is a force to be reckoned with. This ROM grenade launcher packs a serious punch. With 30 meters of effective range, you can deal massive damage at a distance too. The weapon holds a single grenade in the chamber that fires out with a slight arc. It deals direct damage and splash damage in a small area. The splash is the majority of the damage. The projectile itself can hit weak spots though. This weapon works well with the Slayer set, and is boosted even further by Outlaw Sigil. The faster you can reload, the faster you can spam those grenades. An awesome addition to explosive weapons. First up for boss weapons, we have the Cleveland Chunk Rider. This modification of the typewriter functions similarly to a light machine gun. The weapon features a massive drum mag with a whopping 150 rounds. It does, however, have a slower rate of fire and reload speed compared to the Tommy gun, although both of these are fixed with its built-in mod, Overclock. This mod boosts the weapon's fire rate and reload speed by an incredible amount. When paired with other fire rate gear, like the Akari set or Velocity Core, it boosts the DPS to insane levels. And if you decide to run Ring of the Mantis, it really feels like you're mounting a light machine gun. The Jolt Rifle is the second of the 2 boss weapons. This modification of the Ricochet Rifle is a powerful one. On top of its beautiful new look, this weapon comes with some alterations from its foundation. First off, the discs fired out work differently than normal. On the Ricochet Rifle, the discs deal their highest damage on the first hit and then taper off on each bounce. The Jolt Rifle works in the opposite way, becoming stronger the more bounces it gets. This leads to some really high values on targets at the end of a bounce chain. The discs also deal shock damage now, which works into the included mod. Zeus's Quiver allows the user to aim their weapon at an enemy and call down a lightning strike. This deals damage on direct hit and in a small area. Enemies that are hit directly are afflicted with Overloaded. Enemies that come within 4 meters of each other will set off a 5-meter blast. Alternatively, you can swap back to the discs and set them off that way, at the cost of less damage and area of effect. With a mod spam setup, this weapon is very strong. Although even with Follower, the mod power per charge still takes time to build. Getting those chain hits are important for this reason. I can see this becoming a fan favorite pick for shock builds now. Moving on, we have a Ruin buff. The max ammo has been increased from 150 to 180. This extra magazine makes Ruin fall in line with other weapons' max potential damage values. A nice buff, as it was certainly needed. The Root Horror no longer spawns in the Nightmare fight. Previously, the ads spawned by him would stay around after death. Funny enough, they weren't even hostile. A nice fix for the boss fight. Undying King no longer drops on dying on defeat. This was an accidental change after locking the mod back on Ruin. The Slayer set buff no longer is lost on weapon swap. A small buff, although very helpful at not wasting your damage after swapping once you run out of one of your weapon's ammo. Raze has received some tweaks to his fight. The Floating Dorito now summons in fewer skulls, but also a singular elite ship as well. This alters his fight quite a bit. Although you don't have to take down as many skulls, the Sentinel now hunts you down to stun you. This can happen super easily, and it leaves you exposed to Raze's fire breath. Thankfully, he no longer has the Skullcracker modifier. It has now been replaced with a 50-50 chance of being a new modifier, Frost or Fire Resistant. These function as 25 points of elemental resistance to the respective type. He is already resistant to both types of damage, fire more so by 10 points. These changes help to spice up his fight, and the modifiers are something we might end up seeing on other bosses. The final change is that to Burden of the Lucid Dreamer. As I mentioned at the end of my last video, The ring now has a built-in 30% crit chance buff, and now also has a hidden crit chance cap of 120%. This is to prevent gravity core from being as broken with it. It's a good buff, one I am sure many who are skeptical about the ring will like. And that's all for patch 1.0.3. The changes and additions are amazing. Definitely expect some new videos covering the weapons in the future. Like always, I will leave a link to Bolt's Discord in the description if you want to come say hi or leave feedback on the mod. Either next week or the week after, I'll be releasing the secret fun video I've been wanting to work on for a while. I hope you'll look forward to it. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.